Hello, Gwen Park family. This is Mr. Eddie Reed, and I am going to show you a tutorial on how to set up Zoom to force the authentication requirement for students to log into your Zoom meetings. So hopefully this will give you the information you need and hopefully makes your Zoom meetings more secure, and also helps with attendance reporting, gives you a better view of who's attended your class. So the first thing you want to do is go to the staff portal, staff.pgcps.org. You're going to click on applications. You're going to go down to Zoom. All right. You're going to log in here. And if your credentials are cached, it's going to bring you in. It may ask you to authenticate against your PG work email. You do that, and then you're going to be brought here. So this is the main login screen. It shows you your profile for your Zoom meeting. So this is your personal meeting ID. This is what gets created when you first set up your account. And most people are probably using this one link for all their meetings, which is fine for the most part. I'll explain why that may not be the wisest choice, depending on what you're doing, how you're using your meetings. So I'll explain that, the pros and cons of doing it this way. Then, you have your general information here. So the first thing you want to do is you want to go to settings. And you want to make sure your security at the top here is always set to all the users go to the waiting room. And you want to go down here to only authenticated users can join meetings. You want to make sure that this is set. pgcps.org should be the default. And it also requires a, well, I think it's one or two options. So you're really using this option here to force them to log in with their PGCPS information. But I just would recommend having both of these. Should say this, and this little toggle should be to where you see the blue area. There are other settings that I'm not going to go into down there, so that's important that that setting is set in that section. The next area you want to go into is meetings. Okay, now you see a list of meetings, of recurring meetings I have. I'm going to explain how to set that up and the behavior when you set these up, because was something unexpected that I discovered. So I want to walk you through that and explain that as well. So again, we're talking about your personal meeting, your personal room. So you want to go to personal, so you're going to go to meetings. You're going to have this bar here. You're going to go to personal meeting. So again, you're going to see your personal ID. You want your security and everything to match what you had on the other page. So it's going to ask for the passcode. Or if they use the link, it's going to automatically put it in there for them. Waiting room, so anybody that joins is going to go to the waiting room. Down here, the options, this is what the important thing is here, is that you want to make sure that this is selected, that they require a PGCPS account to join. It seems like it's redundant, but actually you have to go here and set this option. I had the two options set up, what I showed you under settings before, but people were still coming into my room without authenticating. And I'm going to show you what that looks like in the attendance log. So you want to make sure when you go in here and you click edit, like I just clicked, it's going to allow you to toggle the different settings. Again, you want to make sure you go down here and you want to select this option here. This was unselected, even though I had those two settings that I showed you before. But thanks to Ms. Moore, she was the one to inform me on how to come in and set this specifically for your meeting room. So when you do this, require everybody and you hit save, what's going to happen is when you go up to personal room, it's going to show you what your personal security settings and everything is for your personal meeting. And it's gonna now show this option here. If you didn't have it selected before, it's going to show it now that it's going to force it. So anytime you send this link out, no matter when you send it out, how you send it out, or whatever, it's always going to force anybody that joins your meeting to have a PDCPS account, whether it's staff or students. Okay, so that is the setting itself. Now let's go down to the reports so that you can see how the attendance is tracked. So you're going to hit on reports, click on usage, and now you see a list of reports from the time period here. I mean, if you want to go back further, I think I can go back here, then it's going to probably show me some more meetings. Okay, yeah, these are some of the other meetings I had, right? So you have the ability to search for, and I think they keep these up for 1 month. So it should give you enough time to track your attendance and so forth and so on, right? So let's go to what a report looks like when, it's 1 page or 2 pages, okay. Let's take a look at what a report looks like when you don't have that forced authentication option set. So you go here and you click on this blue hyperlink with the number of participants. So it says, click on this little 50 here. Now I'm going to scroll down and show you. So these were the different people that joined my meeting, okay? So most people, as you can see, don't have an email logged, okay? So they're just joining the link and, they're putting your name in, but it's not forcing them to show an email address, okay? So that's one thing. Then you have, some just, public emails like Gmail and things like that, okay? So the big challenge with this is, especially when you're doing attendance, is like, I'm gonna show you this instance here. Who is this? It's a number, like I think one of the teachers had mentioned that as well. Somebody's joining with a number, right? And I had asked specifically in my class when this happened, say, who is this, right? Because I was like, I gotta take attendance, I gotta be accountable. So then they spoke and said something, but honestly, I don't remember the person's name. So when I go to do the attendance, if I don't see that name on here, what am I supposed to do? I'm going to have to probably mark them absent because I don't know who that was. Now, when you enforce the logins, all that goes away. Okay. So the worst thing that you're going to see is you may see one name. Okay, like you may see the first name, or you may see the first name and an initial. I think I was having some discussions with some other colleagues. My understanding is that when, depending on if you were in middle school or whatever, they allowed you to, only have your first name or something like that, if that's what you wanted to display. That may have changed system-wide, I don't know, but you're going to see some people rarely now that has maybe like one name. But what I'm going to show you now, it doesn't really matter. So let's go out of here, and then let's go to the one I did today. So this is my meeting that started at 8 this morning and it ended at 10, okay? There's a reason why that's 101 minutes, and I'm going to explain why it's that. I should have 3 45-minute sessions, okay? The reason I don't have it, I'm explaining it why. So this is what you see in the user email column. So this validates your students, okay? They are forced to log in. And so everybody, I ain't got to worry about who's logging in now. I know you had to go to PGCPS website and authenticate. Everybody's forced. So I don't see no Gmails or nothing. Everybody's from PGCPS, okay? Now you may wonder, well, hey, I see Derek Brewer logged in twice. 1 minute, 37 minutes, blah, blah, blah. Ryan Archer, same thing, 1 minute, 36 minutes. Okay. The nice thing about this report, there's an option to aggregate your users to only show the unique users. So you click this on, and your list comes down to this, okay? Shows all of the unique logins. Now, as you see, the real names are all first name, last name, in most cases what we have in Isaiah here, just by himself. Okay, like I said, depending on if they had their emails for a long time and when it was in a legacy situation where they could just only use one name, the first name, that may have carried over. But as you see, most people had their first and last name. Well, again, Malika here, same thing, right? But because you have the PGCPS emails, you're able to see their first and last names because that's the format for the emails, which is a good thing, right? So for some reason, if you know you have somebody has a common first name and there's like 3 or 4 Johns and they don't have a last name, don't have no initial, and then this is blank. Now you're guessing in School Max, if you got 3 Johns in your room, who's John? Is it John Doe? Is it John Smith? Is it John Robinson? Okay. Now I don't have to worry about it. I know it's Malika Green. Okay. If I had 3 Malikas in my class spelled the same way, well, this is going to tell me, oh, Malika Green, Malika Purple, and Malika, Pink. Okay. So that's the good thing about this. And like I said, it aggregates the number of minutes they were on. So, you may have been logged in for 1 minute and then, you log in again for, the duration of the class. And I just wanted to speak a little bit on that. It's not always an issue of, 2 people trying to log in at the same time on the, same login. A lot of times, people are having issues with their connections or their device. So you will see them logging in, logging out multiple times. That happens all the time in the class. So that's why, and I guess Zoom, kind of realized like there are situations like that. So if you want to get a report that shows only the unique names, you have that ability. Oh, so the other thing I wanted to show you. So you do this and you can do export with the meeting data. Now this is nice because this puts all the name of your meeting and the time it happened, all in a nice header, okay? So this topic right here, where this really is going to come into play is when I show you when you set up your recurring meetings, because you will name your recurring meeting most likely after your class, okay? So whenever you come and you want to look for your English 101 class, it's going to say English 101, and if you named it 1A or 2B or whatever to give it that designation so you see which section you have, then it'll have that information here. It gives you your full start time, end time, how long the meeting was, and how many participants. Okay. Now, the thing that you lose with using this option is this. Now, the join time and leave time may be important to some people because I want to see, how long, when did they actually log in and when did they actually leave? And I know that there's a field in School Max to put that information in, but I don't think you want to be cut and pasting that for 40 students, okay? And it doesn't appear to be a required field. And I don't think from a policy standpoint that we're required to put that in there now because we're virtual. So, but if for those who want that information, it's there. You can download this, all the duplicates and everything, but I just think it's more useful to just have this view, because then when I'm going to do my attendance, I'm not looking at 3 Malikas, okay? I'm just looking at one Malika, I go down to the next one. I ain't gotta be like, oh, I just checked you in, before. So you're then able to export this. All right. So it puts it into a nice CSV file. And let me reduce my screen so that you can see what it looks like. So this is in numbers on the Mac. It's like Excel. I typically don't use numbers, but when I export this type of report, oh, I love it because it gives you a nice little table output. Whereas you bring in a CVS into Excel, you don't have to design that yourself, okay? All I gotta do is cut and paste this and put it in Sheets. I just click on this or highlight, however I did it, I think. I do copy, and then I can go into Sheets and paste it. And then you'll have it, and you can upload it. So that part. All right, so that's the CVS file that will come in. You can put it up in the folder. All right, let me close out of this. Showed you this, so let me close out of that. So you saw both views of how it looks without the authentication and what it looks like with the authentication. I think you get more valuable information by forcing them to authenticate, and it's extra security. Okay. Now let's go back up to meetings, and you're going to have upcoming, previous, personal. We already talked about this. Having to set up your personal meeting the way you want it to be set up to force the authentication. Now, this is where, for teachers that have back-to-back classes, 1A, 1B, 1C, whatever, right? All your periods are back-to-back. If you don't have no breaks, I strongly advise you to institute a recurring meeting through here and make a link for each of your classes. Hey, I know I may be saying a bad word because we were told to just make one link, but I'm explaining why. That's probably not the wisest thing if you have back-to-back classes. And especially if you are, number one, recording, and number two, doing attendance. And probably attendance is more important because everybody may not record their stuff, right? But everybody's taking attendance. So the issue with, let me go back to the reports, right? Usage. Here, yes, everybody authenticated, but guess what? This is a blending of two classes because one of the instructors let their class out early today. So people started coming to my class 15 minutes early. And because I don't know everybody's name, I don't recognize everybody's name, I'm not sure, you're supposed to be here, you're not supposed to be here right now. I just don't have that mental capacity to figure all that out right now. Maybe some of my, fellow colleagues here can do that. So I got to make stuff easier for me. So, but what happened was I'm talking to a blended class. So as my 2A was leaving, my 3A was coming in, but I didn't know. All I knew I was letting people in. So then I started talking about stuff that I was still talking to 2A, and they was confused and lost because it was a different class. And then they were like, oh, this is third period now. I'm like, well, wait a minute, it ain't time for third period. They was like, yeah, well, our teacher let us out early. And I'm like, okay. So all y'all decided to come to my class 15 minutes early. And so I chuckled. I was like, okay, no problem. But that's when it gave me the revelation of like, don't use the same link for every meeting because of stuff like this, okay? Now, if I got to take attendance, and for me as a new student, as a new teacher, it's going to be a little more cumbersome for me to figure out who's in 2A, who's in 3A. Okay, now if I've been teaching for 20 years and as soon as I see everybody, I remember everybody's name, then something different, right? But I'm new, okay? So I need all the help I can get. So I need to make stuff simple for me. So for me, I need to be able to separate and segment my classes. And this is how you do it. And then the time. Again, I suppose I have 3 at most 45-minute sessions. I got one long one-on-one meeting because, well, those are 2 classes that were blended together because I did have a break, but I had a reasonable break between first and second one, I believe. So, but this was like definitely, oh no, I only had 2 classes today anyway. So both of my classes were blended. So the recording I had, because I started in the beginning of my first period, and then it went on to the second class I had. So now I gotta go try to edit that video because it has some valuable information on it. But because kids bombed my class before time, unintentionally, it wasn't malicious, they just joined the class earlier. Now I got a messed up video I gotta go try to fix, and I got a messed up attendance sheet. Now I gotta go sort through and spend time I shouldn't have to spend trying to sort it out. So this is how you solve that problem. You go up to meetings, you go to upcoming. So this one here, I'm gonna delete, but you see how this is recurring. It recurs Mondays and Thursdays. So this is an A class, right? I'm gonna delete, I'm just gonna click on this. I'm gonna hit delete and delete all occurrences. Okay, now, all right, so you have a 1A class that starts at 7:45, all right? You wanna hit schedule meeting. Now you're gonna call it, so the topic, this is where it's really nice and elegant. You can give it your, say 1A AP English, right? Right, so say 1A is your AP English class, okay? You can put a description here, whatever, whatever else information you may want to put. Now, when does this occur? Okay, today is a Wednesday. All right, let's go Thursday. Okay, and it's at 7. We're gonna click it. The only thing I hate about this, it doesn't let you do down to the minute. It's only every, I think, 15-minute increments, so 30-minute increments. So I'm gonna do 7:30. Duration, hour and a half. Okay. Now, you see, this is your personal meeting ID. Okay. The personal meeting ID is what we all get and it's fixed when we first set up our accounts. And this is what we traditionally would use every time we send out a meeting. But when you use this and you use it for all your classes, especially as back-to-back, you have the point of people bleeding over into your meeting. Okay. Now, so I thought that, oh, if I hit record, it's still going to use this. No. What it's going to do is going to take this away like this. Boom. It's going to take it away. What it's going to do is going to generate you a new code, a new permanent code for each recurring instance that you set up. So I want this to recur every week. So weekly. Now it's going to repeat every week. And it's going to occur on Mondays and Thursdays, okay? Now, you want to put an end time. You can either have 2 options, by a certain date or by a certain amount of occurrences. I'm going to choose date. And what I normally do is just go out to the end of June because, snow may not impact us like they used to, but, I just go out to the end of the thing. Make sure you put passcode. It's going to bring that up, whatever. Waiting room. If you wanted to start your video and everything first, you can select that here. Here's the kicker. You want to select that. Again, make sure that's saved, okay? Breakout room. You can do breakout room settings to automatically pre-assigned. I'm not going to show you that. That's something you can look at it on your own, and automatically record meetings to the local computer. You can select that or not. Let me hit save. All right. Now I'm gonna go back to meetings, look at upcoming. Now you see I have 50 occurrences of this 1A. Okay. So this is going to happen on tomorrow. So the beautiful thing about that is when I go to Zoom, it's going to show me a recurring meeting, and all I got to do is click that on and hit start. But now it's not, I can't start it right now because, of course, I'm in Zoom. I'm already in a Zoom. Okay. So, but you can, once you open up your Zoom, all your meetings are going to show here. Okay, so if you have a meeting for AP English, you don't have to worry about, oh, what's the Zoom link? Just start it from your Zoom app. Okay. I have my stuff on my calendars. So I'll show you my calendar in Outlook. I use Outlook. So I have all my stuff. Now I'm going to, because I've been using the same link, I got to go in and change all this stuff. And I got to update my Google Classroom stuff. But it's going to work out better for me because I ain't got to worry about somebody inadvertently bombing my stuff, you know, because you came early. I'm not going to have a commingled attendance sheet anymore because, hey, everything is going to be separate. Okay. Hey, if you don't want that, you know, it's a little extra administration in terms of sending all those links out to the spreadsheet that we got to, you know, track it in. But I just think, I know just for me, I can't speak for everybody else. I just know for me, for my organizational needs, that's going to work out for me. I was devastated when they came into my class early today. Again, nothing malicious. So I would just go in and plug my calendar and everything, so I have everything set. So let me show you, the final thing I think I want to show you is, okay, you got students having to log in with Zoom through authenticating through the school. So what if you get students, oh, I don't know how to do that. Nope, you're going to be able to tell them. Go here to the profile. You're going to click on settings. Okay. Oh, no. Profile. All right. You would either do switch account, but switch account is not going to do anything. You basically want to sign out because, you know, switch account would mean like you have the option, but really when you hit switch account, it's going to do the same thing as log out. So you would do log out, and you will see this screen here. What they're going to do is go and put in John-Doe at pgcps.org. Now they're going to click on, they can do either one. Well, actually, they're going to do this one. They can do this one. I'm going to just show you, this is the easiest way. Just click on with Google, right? Sign on with Google. Now, because I'm logged into my profile here in my browser, it's going to have my credentials already here. So in their case, they may already have their school credentials saved into their browser. If they don't, that's fine. So what's going to happen is going to take me here. Well, because I'm actually set up on single sign-on, it doesn't take me to the PGC authentication page. It just brings me right in. But that's how you set it up. So their Zoom client is now going to be I'm going to log back in. If they can do it this way too, they can do pgcps.org-org.zoom.com. If they just put that in, they can do it that way. Okay. So stop. Okay. So anyway, that's how you allow, that's how they can do it from their client. Doing the web, they're just going to have to be prompted. They'll put in their thing. It's going to automatically take them to the PGC page and log in through there, and then they can get in there. If they can't do any of that, they can go the convoluted way and use Clever. Okay, I'm not going to demonstrate that. They will log into Clever, click on Zoom, log in that way. Okay, that way ensures that they only log in through PCS. So hopefully this video was helpful. Maybe a little long, but I just wanted to make sure I wanted to explain some things to you so you understood how things were set up and not just show you like, okay, click, click, click here, you know, goodbye. But I wanted to understand, I wanted to explain the reasoning why I do things a certain way, because for me, it helps me organize better, right? For you, it may be different, but I just can't deal with kids coming in to my classroom when I'm not ready for them to come. And when you set up recurrent meetings for all your classes, then you send out a link for each one. And that, like I said, that link is not going to change, right? And you don't have to worry about, you know, well, which link am I going to use? No, it's going to be on your calendar. You should put it on your calendar, right? Or if you log into your Zoom, you'll see your next recurrent meeting and you just click on that and it starts it up. So, all right, that's all I have. If you have any questions, please reach out. Again, I hope this was helpful for everybody, and I will talk to you later. Take care.